I think every kid dreamed of playing the NHL, dreamed of scoring that big goal. One of us, hopefully, was gonna get that goal. You know, let's just stick with it. We're gonna get a big one. We're gonna get a big one, and sure enough, we did. Dreams are dreams, and you never know if they're gonna come true. But you know, that one did.
Sidney, it's been an exhilarating and exhausting week for you. Thanks so much for taking some time. So, do anything interesting for your Olympic break?
Yeah. It was all interesting, but a great finish to it for sure.
Let's go through the final 5-10 minutes of the gold medal game. Let's start with the breakaway you had, which pretty much could have salted the game away. You're up 2-1, you get a breakaway, puck starts jumping around on you, you really don't even get a shot. Does it haunt you? Do you wonder, maybe the rest of the game, is this my chance to put the game away?
At that time, yeah, I mean, I was upset I didn't get a better chance, but I think I would always be probably just as upset, whether it was that game or any other game. But I think I kind of forgot about it pretty quickly, and I knew that still had a couple shifts left maybe, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't let that, you know, bother me or affect my play the rest of the game. But when they score with 24 seconds left, then that's when it kind of creeps back, and you think, you know, if I put that away, then, you know, we wouldn't be in this position. So it crept up for, you know, for a few seconds. It crossed my mind, but then, you know, once we got in the intermission, we knew we had to leave it all out there, and, you know, we were hoping that it would end up in our favor.
You're sitting on the bench for the final frantic seconds. You're not one of the guys out there for the last shift. What are you thinking at that time? Are you nervous? Are you worried? The team had some meltdowns a little earlier in the tournament.
You know, I really didn't think they had a lot. Like, we did a great job the last couple of minutes of, you know, blocking shots and really not giving them many chances. And we felt like we were in control. We had, I think, one chance to get it out there, and we didn't get it out. And they ended up getting a bounce off a skate and a rebound, and Zach puts it in. But I really didn't feel nervous. You know, I look back at the Slovakia game, and they had a lot more pressure and came a lot closer to tying it than I felt that we'd given the U.S. But when they did score, we didn't have a lot of time to regroup. We thought we were going right into overtime, but then there ended up being an intermission of 15 minutes, and tried to kind of get back on track there in the room and try to go out there and you know, make our best effort to finish off the game.
It was an interesting scenario. Parisi scores the goal, time runs out, and both teams kind of sat on their benches. You know, it's the middle of an NHL season, so you would just start overtime. What was that like? And then being able to go back to the locker room and take that full intermission, how key was that to you guys being able to regroup, get your wits about you, and play the overtime?
No, it helped a lot, and you know, even the first 5-10 minutes of that intermission was pretty quiet. You know, it was a pretty terrible environment. I mean, we were that close, and you know, guys were obviously not happy. But I thought that, you know, 5-7 minutes left in that intermission, guys started to talk a little bit, and you know, you could see that guys were thinking more about the opportunity that we had ahead of us and not the one we had just lost. So that was a good sign, and our overtime showed that. I mean, we went right after them, and I thought we carried the play in overtime.
Locker room was full of captains, Hart Trophy winners, Stanley Cup winners. Who talks at a time like that? Who speaks up?
Well, our captain, Scott Niemeyer, I mean, he spoke up there close to going out, and our coach came in and said a few words, and between that and then just your usual chatter, but you know, it wasn't a usual situation. So to get that, I guess, to have that normal conversation, to get that feeling that everything's okay in a situation as big as that was the best thing for us. So we felt confident going into overtime.
Now, you're the captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins, so if a similar situation arises, I'm sure they all look to you to say something, but you're one of the younger guys in that locker room. What do you do during that intermission? Do you say anything? How do you prepare yourself?
Well, I didn't really say much the whole Olympics, so I wasn't gonna start then. So, like you said, there's so many great leaders there, and a guy like Scott Niedermayer has been through Olympics. He's been through Stanley Cups, and you know, he obviously felt he had to say something, and it wasn't anything that we hadn't heard before, but it was just a sense of calm, and he always brought that to our team. So for him to step up then and say that it wasn't anything out of the norm, it was just something that he felt was important for us. And for me, I knew we all had a great chance still. That was the way we were looking at it, and I felt like everyone else, we had an opportunity, and one of us hopefully was gonna get that goal.
Let's dissect the winning goal. Puck goes up the boards, kind of gets caught in the referee Bill McCreary's feet a little bit. Brian Rafalski is hot on your trail. Tell us what you see and what happens there.
I think Iggy was below me, so I poked it to him, and then as soon as I turned, I had kind of started skating towards kind of the middle of the ice, but I saw there was a lot of space there, so I kind of turned back, and I realized there wasn't really a D in front or anybody covering the middle, so I just yelled for the puck, and he had his back to me and ended up winning his battle and just kind of sliding the puck out to me. And I just remember having some space, not really having a great angle, but I didn't even look at the net. I knew at that point where I was on the ice, and I just tried to get a quick shot away. And he was saying, let's just stick with it. We're going to get a big one. We're going to get a big one. And sure enough, we did.